But this stuff, you'll remember this. This stuff, you won't forget this stuff. This is easy. Okay. All right, so let's just do some real basic graphing here. If you want to graph something, you using the symbols X and Y normally will invoke or be telling graphing calculator that you want to graph. So new command line, if I write Y equals 5, before you hit graph, what will we see? All lines are straight. Horizontal line, a horizontal line. Okay, so you can change the color by clicking on the little box, and then you've got these colors here, red, whatever you want. So usually red, blue, and purple show up the best, the first three, or black. And it's not quite. So you can grab on the axis. You see a hand when you go over the axis, you can just grab and move it wherever you want.
How do you zoom out from the graph?
Okay, and so let's actually do y equals 2. It'll be easier. And then so y equals x squared. Again, so y and x are the signals to graphing calculator that you want to graph. Okay, so in terms of zooming, do you see down the lower left corner there? Zoom out is the first one. And then the second one is zoom in. Okay, so you can also use those differently. If you click on the graph, if you put the arrow and click on the graph, it gives you crosshairs. And now you can, and then the current ordered pair where the crosshairs are here. Do you see that in the upper left corner of the graph? And you can drag the crosshairs and it changes the ordered pair. But then go up to the intersection point and you should hear a little knock. It'll actually lock on to the intersection and then give you that ordered pair there. And it should like knock. And then it also does that for the roots. So if you come down here, it'll lock on to the root where it crosses the x-axis. And then also, I think, does it do a y-intercept knock? Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like it locks onto the y-intercept. Okay, but with that, so if say we want to look at this. We kind of want to zoom in around 1, 1. So if you have the crosshairs there and then you hit the zoom, it will zoom in where the crosshairs are, as opposed to just zooming in wherever your center of your screen is. Make sense? So grab the crosshairs and then drag up into anywhere off the graph, and it should disappear. Does it work?
How do you get it to go on the other line?
You have to start over. So go take the cursor and then click on the other one. Yeah. So it'll stay on that until you start over. Okay, so let's try something. Let's see. 5x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 10x squared minus 7x plus 1. Okay, well that's cute, but I want to see the whole. If I zoom out on this, I want to see all that's interesting about this. If I zoom out, that's okay, but it's a little narrow. So what you can do is On a Mac, if you hit Option and Command, look at the little icons where you're going to use zooming. If you hit Option, you get left-right arrows, and if you hit Command, you get up-right arrows. On the PC, what is it? Control and something else. Control gives you which ones? But there's two. There's left-right arrow, Control and Shift. Okay, so I wanna get a nice image of this. So I'm gonna this allows you to shift just the X and just the Y axis. So if you just want to shift the X axis, you get you're gonna hit Option on Mac, and then for PC, what is it? Shift or Control? For horizontal. Control. Okay, so I wanna zoom in on this horizontally. That looks good. And now I just want to zoom out a little bit vertically, so I'm going to hit Command on Mac and zoom out. No, just kidding. No, I just want to zoom out altogether now. So there we go. So that's a pretty good view right there. Yeah.
Did you say you can get the cursor off?
So take it out off the graph. So
Drag it to the text.
drag it out. Yeah.
I was trying to figure that out last night.
Looks like a storm on the computer. It's like a storm's rolling in.
That looks super cool. Looks like a cloud. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out that cursor.
Okay, questions on zooming. Everyone figure out how to zoom on both the X and Y axis separately. That's a really helpful thing. Okay, what's next? Let's see.
Question.
Yeah.
Is there a way to reset it to the default, kind of like on a calculator?
Yeah, so if you go to Graph, the Graph menu, and then you go to the very first item on Graph is Reset. I guess that's Command R. That just takes you right back to the default. Okay, if you go to the Help menu, and you go to Keyboard Shortcuts, this is a very useful tool. I have posted this list that has some of the basic ones. I posted on Blackboard, and it has a column for Mac and for PC. But here's a lot more. Okay, so the Help menu, Keyboard Shortcuts. It's a very long list. Most of these you probably won't use, but if there's something you're looking to do, there's probably a way to do it, and so you might be able to find it on that list. Help, Keyboard Shortcuts. Okay, so we were talking about large and small quantities yesterday in Calc, and we did a fun little exercise, so let's do that here also. Come on, that would be yesterday. Oh, come on. Right there.
This is it. This is what you've been working for. I rented this place and I started bringing it here because I didn't know what else to do. I gave up counting it. I mean, I had to. It was just so much, so fast. I tried weighing it. I figured one bill of any denomination weighs a gram. There are 454 grams to a pound, but there's a variety of denominations. So,
How much is this?
I have no earthly idea. I truly don't. I just stack it up, keep it dry, spray it for silverfish. There is more money here than we could spend in 10 lifetimes. I certainly can't launder it. Not with 100 car washes.
Okay, more money than you could spend in 10 lifetimes, and you certainly couldn't launder it with 100 car washes. So, how much is it? How much is there? So let's suppose that those are all $50 bills. All right, so can you write one command line in GC to estimate how much money is there? Can you write one command line in GC to estimate how much money is there? Go for it.
How do I get rid of the command lines?
You can just
Backspace.
you backspace. You can select and delete. Yeah, so you just select it and delete it, and then just keep deleting. It'll go away. Oh, I need to give you the dimensions of a bill. Sorry. I forgot. I gave him some information. Oh, wait a second.
She could just go to college or something. She could spend a lot of money.
There you go. There's the dimensions of a bill.
Speed of light.
15.5956 by 6.6294 by 0.010922 centimeters. It's the dimensions of a bill. How can you do it? So I'll show you the picture again. So can you write that down? Oh, if you want, okay, so what's really nice is in between command lines, you can just put text. And to do that, you do Control or Command T. And that opens up just where you can just type to yourself, right? So if you want to give information about what's coming next, or if you just do what I'm doing just as a way to show text on the screen. So go ahead and do that. Go do Command T, get a text line, and type that in for so you have it right there in front of you when you're doing the work, okay? Everyone able to? Yeah, there you go. Everyone got it? And you can change the text and you can change the font and the size in the text menu, or you can just highlight it and then hit plus. Everyone got it now? Okay. 20 seconds. I want to show the picture again. Okay. There you go. If it's all 50s, how much money is it? Here's some things you might want. There's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch.
Oh, we're doing inches now.
Well, you do whatever you want. And then there's 3.28 feet in a meter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought the block was in meters.
What's that?
I don't know.
That's fine. Or you can do that too.
I feel like there's something really simple about this. I'm stupid.
Showing up. You gonna graph something? This isn't about graphing, right?
No.
This isn't about graphing.
I had no better ideas. See, the problem is I don't have an accurate scale to measure by. It's
If you did like 2 yards,
Maybe install it.
Well, 1.5, I
So when you do this, like,
I think it is. It's too much.
shut up.
Thanks.
while you're working on this, I want to collect your quizzes.
Good thing.
Just stack them up in the table in the front. Give me a clean enough touch, please.
That's way back there. Real shallow.
Make sure your name's on it.
I was in a problem.
So you clean them up there if you would. Stack them in the middle of your
I want to go back to the thing where he has the sheet off, so I can like count how many.
divided by.
He goes down.
How much was
Make sure we check.
Do I have all the quizzes? Well, there's just one name.
Just do the whole thing, divided by the little thing.
Okay, yeah, so
Area divided by
That was
like the size of the stack
volume
divided by the
divided
dimensions
by
of
the
the
part. That's probably $50.
I know, but I'm just trying to figure out how.
Anyone got an answer yet?
So for
Anyone have an answer yet?
Oh, he didn't.
I want you to do the calculation in one command line. Do it in one command
He
line.
told us it was 2 meters by 1.5 meters.
Oh.
Just highlight that and then.
Sorry, tell me that again.
There you go. Where's Angela?
Oh, that's upside down.
Two Angelas. Where's Angela number 2? Okay. That's all I need to know. Alexandria.
So like,
Just learning names.
on the volume of the entire
Raymond.
thing, and then we have the mention of one bill, so we're just.
Alex Morales.
You moved us the wrong direction.
Paul. Paul Weiser.
See, look, right, 200.
Were you a student of mine before? The name is familiar. Tony. Risa. Brianna. Natalie. Casey.
Yeah, that's
Nick. Enrique. Miguel.
So that's how many like stacks.
That's how
Miguel.
much bills. And then there's
Catherine. Angela Stewart. Oh, these are a lot of Pathways tutoring people, aren't they? From last semester. That's why I recognize these names. Okay. Veronica. Andre. Jessica. Natalie McKee. Riley. Andrew. Mariana. Lauren Kaiser. For about 1/5 of these so far. Too small. Jason?
Yeah.
Jason Peterson? These were all on the tutor center, weren't you? Dottie Stewart. Logan.
Really?
Amelia.
I got a B plus.
Tyler. Lou. How do you say your first name? Zing? Zing. Angela, that's the first Angela Lisa. Okay. All right, how'd we do? Who got? So we're gonna have different answers, of course. What do you think?
I got 99 million.
99 million. Okay. We worked it yesterday in class. That's what we got too. We got 99 million. So that you should get something close to 99 million. It's $50 bills. Here's what we did. Where's that? So we just estimated that it was 2 by 1.5 by 0.75 meters, that block. Is that what you said too? Something like that? Yeah, so and then answers will vary, right? Answers will vary, but I said 2 by 1.5 by 0.75. And so a cool thing to do with these types of problems, by putting them all in one line like this, is then put parentheses around everything, and then for every set of parentheses, identify what quantity that is. So every quantity in parentheses has a meaning, right? Every quantity in parentheses has a meaning. So identify each one. So here's what I did, and there's other ways to structure this, but just quickly at your table, there's 3 sets of parentheses there. So for each of those 3 sets of parentheses, identify the meaning of that value. Just take a minute. Go. So I'll give you labels there. A, B, and C. A, B, and C. The big thing. So number. What's the number mean? No, it's not dimensions. B is a number. It's a number. What number is it?
Cubic area of a bill. Cubic is the volume of
The entire one.
the number of bills in the
So that's a really good teaching tool, and something that a graphing calculator can't do easily, right? So a handheld is what I mean, handheld graphing calculator. But with this, it doesn't matter how long or complicated a calculation gets. You can always group it up like this, and then a really good teaching activity is then what does every subgroup or every quantity within parentheses has a meaning? What does each one mean? Okay, so that's a really nice kind of teaching activity. Okay, so let's switch gears and do something similar, but with geometry. Calculator with numbers. That's what we're confirming. Good. Good. You guys good?
Then you change the 4
Good. 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 Good.
Why would you do that?
What did you do? You make a copy.
Sometimes. I do make it
I guess.
Okay. So how about doing this table that way? Is it convenient?
No.
No. And so in last view, we're asking the right question. Can we use variables? Yes. Parameters? Yes. Turn the page. Page 2. All right. So listen up. So we'll read this together. Parameters and formulas. With GC, you can use parameters and formulas as a more efficient way of performing a given calculation repeatedly. So remember, this box is important. X and Y, those are reserved to represent values on the X and Y axis, or to give the prompt GC to graph. Okay. Z then is similarly reserved for graphing in free space. You can do three-dimensional graphs. We saw that last time. R is reserved for the radius, like in polar coordinates or cylindrical coordinates. Okay. Theta and phi are reserved for their standard meanings in polar, cylindrical, spherical coordinates. T is reserved as a parameter, as a parametric variable. U and V also reserved for plotting 3D graphs with parameters in 3D graphs. And then E, pi, and I have their conventional mathematical meaning. E 2.71828 blah blah blah, pi 3.14, I squared root of -1. And then finally n, lowercase n, we'll get to that later. If you use n, it'll open up a slider, which is a way you can manipulate the value of n with a slider. Okay? So other than those, you can pretty much use any letters or symbols that you want. So for instance, there's in the middle there, everyone put this in. So capital R equals 0.0625. Capital P equals 260,000. Capital N equals 360. So do those on separate lines. So now you're assigning those values to those parameters. Okay, so listen carefully. This is something that does not stick easily. So listen. If you want to use a character string to mean a single parameter, this is how you do that. So I want PMT to be a single parameter. So what I do is I hit /, or backslash, which is above return, the one that goes down to the right. And then you're going to type in your string, so I want capital PMT, and then hit it again, and you'll see that those slashes disappear, and now Graphing Calculator knows that this string of letters is one single parameter, like R, or like capital T. And so then we can say equals, so now we're using it for a formula, right? So we could use it, I could assign it a value, I could say it's 5, or I could write the formula. So we're going to write the formula using those other things. So capital R divided by 12 times capital P times 1 over 1 minus paren 1 plus R over 12 to the negative capital N. So that command line defines how payment will be calculated based on the current values of capital R, capital P, and capital N. So if you go to your next line, you don't have to use the slashes anymore. So when you do PMT, it knows. So do capital PMT, and you should get the value of then you're saying, tell me what that value is based on the values of R, P, and N. you should get the value. Does it come up?
How do you set PMT to be one variable again?
Okay, here we go. Everyone listening. To get a character string as one variable, because people are going to ask this in a week, and in 2 weeks, and 3 weeks, you're going to ask this again. So try to retain it. You're going to hit true backslash, or is it forward slash? I don't know. A backslash down into the right. Down into the right. Backslash. Okay? And then type in your string, and then hit backslash again. And then the slashes go away, and that character string is a parameter. Did it work? Why does mine say 1.08333333?
Because RP and N are already defined.
Okay, so I opened a brand new window, and these are my only 2 command lines. So this is based on RP and N being default values. If you don't set the value of a parameter, the default is 1. So in my window, currently, capital R equals 1, capital P equals 1, capital N, they all equal 1, and it's calculating payment based on values of 1 for RP and N. You've defined RP and N, and you've set them at a value, so it's using those values to calculate PMT. Does it make sense? So all you have to do now is go up to those first 3 lines for RP and N, change those values, and then look at what happens on the PMT line. So change R, so go to the table, go down to make R 0.065, make T, whatever, put in the RP and N, your first 3 lines, and then look at what happens to the line that says PMT if the values have changed automatically.